Hello everyone. So just imagine you just woke up today and before 10 a.m. you have created like 100 of data points and you don't even realize that. So in the morning you just woke up, open your Instagram field, you paused at a particular post and that got recorded. Then you ordered your breakfast through Swiggy, that transaction got recorded. You paid it through UPI. So yet another data point there. So you have created like 100 of data points. You don't even realize that before like beginning of a day. And here is the crazy part. Most of the people trying to enter in the data field cannot explain what data is. So let's fix this. I am Aditya and Data with Aditya is a free and complete guide for data fields, absolutely from the zero to the job ready. So let's begin with the fundamentals. So what is data? So let's begin with what is data and its types. So in which it gets stored. So first of all, like what is data? So here is the simplest definition which I have ever come across. That is like data is any recorded observation about the world. That's it. So anything like number, text, image, sound, sensor reading, anything which is recorded, it is a data. So let's concentrate on the example which we see daily. It is like your Aadhaar card number, that's the data. Your WhatsApp message that you send your friend, that's the data. The photos you took at the wedding, that's the data. Your heart rate at your fitness band is a data. You left some comment on Amazon, that's the data. And the real question isn't that what is data? So everything, almost everything is data. We are seeing like everything is data. So what's the real question? So the real question is what type of data it is. So there are many types of data also. Let's go through it. So because data is stored in types, so let's go through types. So why do we need them? So because different types need to be stored, processed, and analyzed differently. So let's break it down. So the most important clarification in all of the data is this one. So structured, unstructured, and then the middle ground that is called like a semi-structured. Okay, so let's go one by one. So firstly, let's go with structured. Okay, so the structured data is like a spreadsheet. So it fits neatly into rows and columns like a spreadsheet or the database table, you can say. So it is like a clean and clear data, easy to understand. Okay, so let's think about a bank statement. Every transaction has like a detailed amount, its name, its category, perfectly structured. Every every row looks same. Computer can easily sort it, filter it, do the math. Math is important. So everything is done. For example, like bank transactions, students mark, cricket matches. All the data is like well organized, well structured. And this is what data analysts mostly work on. So, and SQL comes into picture here. So what SQL does, that will be captured in next series. So we will meet there again. So mostly structured data is like neat and clean table for us. Easy to understand. Data analysts use it. It is like a cleaned data you can consider. So now let's move to the mess, which is unstructured. So the unstructured data is like it don't have like a fixed amount of data. There are no neat rows, predictable columns. It can be like your WhatsApp voice note, no data, like unstructured. Your YouTube video is unstructured. Product review, which you wrote in your native language, which can't be read or understood by the system, is unstructured data for them. So let's go with a shocking fact. 80 to 90% of the data which you see or which is generated is unstructured. So most of the data which is generated in the world, most like 80 to 90% is a huge number, it is unstructured. So the whole data which you will be seeing is a mess. Structured data is a myth, which not myth, but you need to create the structured data from unstructured data. So majority is unstructured, so you need to go through unstructured first. So right, as I have written the fact as well that majority of it is like unstructured. You need to clear it. So the real world data is messy, and we need to do it. But after a long time, that companies had no idea what to do it. But today, not in 2026, today AI and machine learning are specifically designed to convert or like change, make unstructured data meaningful. Using that, who does it? So data analysts, ML engineers, they do it. They make a prediction using unstructured data. That where the unstructured data plays like a major role and delimit, it is like important part to be followed. Okay, so now let's come on like a middle ground or something. So it has some organizations, like it has labels, it has tags. It is not like a rigid table. Somewhere around the basic. So the best example I can give is like a JSON file or JavaScript. That is a perfect example for a semi-structured data. So don't worry about the name. Just look at the code I have on my screen. You can just see like a name Rahul, city Pune, order like burger and fries, code order. So that total is like 349, right? So how it has the labels like name and city, that is like structure-ish, but order has only burger and fries. No precisely said anything. So it can be like 1 item to 10 items. That's flexible. That is like an unstructured part for that. So now you got the point why you are like in middle. We have structured is also, unstructured also, flexible also. Everything is there. So what this does? So when Swiggy app talks to the server, it just fetches the data according to your order status. Okay, that's fine. So I think just like APIs, the way they talk to each other, it is just like this. Okay, so JSON is continuously using this. So we will all come back to this in the later episode because this is the important part. It is using web scraping and whatnot, API calling. So what we'll do is we just focus on this in the later episode, which we are going to do. So let's move to the next point. Like we have covered structured, unstructured, also semi-structured. So if you know, these were like types of data, right? You like that's what we were discussing. You're right. So now let's go to the little bit of statistical classification, which is like quantitative and qualitative. It is very important in our interviews, by the way. Okay. So what is quantitative and qualitative? Why it is used? What it carries? Does it have similar like structure and structure? Let's see. Okay. So now there are like two way to classify data. The first one comes from like quantitative data, where numbers you can do math with them. So for example, your age, it is like 24, your salary 80,000, the temperature, anything which has numbers with it. Okay, that can be done. You can just add them, average them, find the max, plot the graph for it. You can do anything with that, right? But here comes the different part, different data, which is qualitative data. You can just understand the thing. Quantitative means quantity, here comes the number, and quality, which will be like characters can be used there. Okay, so what is quantitative data? It is like a category or labels, just like your gender, male, female, your city, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, your rating, which you give on your Amazon or like Swiggy, which is like poor, average, good, excellent, your blood group. You can count them, you can group them, but most of the people, this is not common when you can add it, right? You can just group them. You can just use the filter to just group them. You can just write Mumbai plus Delhi, which is not possible to be fair. So we can't get like a meaningful answer if you just plus it or like use any arithmetic. Then why does it matter if we can just add them? Why? Because the tools and technique which we use are completely different for each style. So pie chart makes a sense for qualitative data, while histogram makes sense for quantitative data. So each graph or each visual presentation depends on this type of data. So a simple average, so simple average for numbers, not for categories. You will hear these terms in every interview, so you should know what actually it means, like where you should use pie chart, where the graphs. So these are the small details which will play like a major part in your interview. So even if you know what is that, where you are going to imply that, that plays a major role there. Okay, so here comes our next session, which is like so let me connect all of this back to career, because that's why here we are. So type of data you work which changes your role. So which type of data you will work, that will change your profile as well. So if you're working on the structure, it will be data analysis. So we'll follow it step by step. Wait, okay. So most of the data analysts live in structured data like Excel, SQL, database, clean table, clean tables. Okay. A data engineer handle like all three types because they need to build pipelines that collect structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. What they do, they make it usable, right? And here comes the like fancier version, which is data analyst and machine learning. My bad. Data scientist and machine learning. Data analyst also not bad. So please. So data analyst is good one. But the fancy one is data scientist and machine learning. So data scientist often starts with the messy unstructured data and has to figure out like what exactly he needs to extract the value from it. So as I told you, from the Amazon rating, you will just see, okay, this is a product which is like a good, it can be recommended. This depends on that. This depends on that. All the patterns, okay, that is the information that is extracted. And the machine learning engineer builds like a system that can understand unstructured data. Means like it can understand any image or recording or audio. You can analyze the image and give the input slash output based on that. Okay, so we will break down all of this roles in next episode. So, but as of now, to have an understanding of the foundation, like why are these role different? The data isn't like one thing, like it comes like wider shape, and this field of data exists because someone has to figure out how to store, how to clean, analyze it, turn into decisions. As I say, like it is not a one person job to like make all use of data. Some people clean it, some analyze it, some predict it. That's how we have different roles, right? So in next video, what we will do is we will just break down the data rows. Just like poor, I will just tell you that data analysts, data engineers, data scientists, machine learning engineers, and many more. So let me know which one you would choose. And if you're getting serious about like getting into data, then just subscribe. We will be building this roadmap step by step. And so drop a comment, which role are you targeting? I will read a single one and see you in the next one. Bye bye.